All right, we'll get underway now. Welcome to today's Women's NCAA First Round News Conference here in Waco, Texas, featuring number 7 seed Ole Miss, who will play number 10 seed South Dakota at 12:30 p.m. on Friday. This is a hybrid news conference with both in-person media and others who will be joining us via Zoom webinar. And we'll take care of all in-person questions first, and then we'll follow by Zoom. Joining us today are Ole Miss student athletes Shakira Austin and LaShonda Monk. Thanks so much for being with us, ladies. As we call on you for the members of the press to ask your question, remember to identify yourself by name and media affiliation. And student athletes, make sure you speak directly into the microphone. Great. Thank you so much. We'll begin with in-person questions. We've got Kaylee here who has the mic, so please raise your hand. Chad?
Chad Conine, Waco Tribune Herald. Shakira, can you sort of speak to the experience of getting to the final of the NIT last year and then now being at this point getting ready to start the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, last year, going into WNIT, it was disappointing to not make the tournament, but, we went in with the right mindset that we were still trying to get better and really just prepare for this year, and I really think that experience is what carried us on to the success this season.
And LaShonda, this is your first season at Ole Miss, correct?
Yes, sir.
Just in terms of being here, getting ready to start the NCAA tournament, can you kind of describe your emotions surrounding that?
I'm just really excited. My team is excited to be here. It's just a lot of emotions, good and a lot of good emotions. So, I'm really just excited to be here.
Back to Shakira. Playing South Dakota, and you guys come out of the SEC. They come out of, I believe, the Summit. I'm not sure. Summit, yeah. How has your conference sort of prepared you for the level of competition in the tournament in general, but especially to face a team that maybe hasn't seen quite that level this season?
Right. The SEC, prepared us for sure with, teams like Arkansas, just shooting teams that, might not be as traditional as the rest of the teams in the SEC. And even in non-conference, we played Belmont, and that was our first loss. And, that really taught us a lesson with dealing with teams like that. And, when we got to Mizzou, we were able to dominate. So if we're able to just carry that defense we had, I really think South Dakota's going to be shocked. So.
And LaShonda, what have you guys seen from South Dakota on film so far? It looks like they might be a little bit more of a guard-driven scoring team.
Yeah. We really just, they, like you said, they do drive. The defense that that we play is going to give them problems. But also, the way that they play, if they don't have anything within their offense, they're looking to just put their head down and drive. So we just focus on guarding that.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do we have any other questions? All right, we do have some from Zoom, so we will begin with, I think it's Evie or Evie. Let me give you permission to talk. All right, Evie, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I didn't have my hand raised, I don't think.
Okay, yes, if you could raise your hand. I'm sorry about that. Do you have a question, or do you want me to move on?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I guess for Shakira, what does it mean to you to be at this point here in the NCAA tournament after, as you mentioned in one of your earlier press conferences, just some of the people who maybe weren't so positive about you coming to Ole Miss? How does it feel now to be here?
It feels great. This is everything that I dream of. I haven't been in a tournament since my freshman year, with COVID, and last year within WNIT. So, just to really turn this program around and to finally get here and, all the work we put in from the summer, all the talks we had about actually getting to this moment, and it finally being here. I think we're just ready to shock the world. So, I'm excited for this team. I'm excited for what we're going to do. And, I really just hope we go on a good run.
Thank you.
Thank you. If you are joining us via Zoom, if you have a question, would you please raise your hand and we will make sure that we go back to you. We have two others joining us by Zoom, but I don't see your hands raised. Adam, do you have a question?
Yes. Uh, Shakira, can you just talk about what this season has meant for you and your team?
Um, for me, it's just been betting on myself. I know for my team, they feel the same. You know, just seeing the rise of this program from the people who are here to from the beginning to the people who came and helped the change. I just feel like this is regardless of if people want to play pro after this or not. We all were able to just come on the same page and really just want to do something special, and that's what makes this team great. I mean, we're all just coming together and have the same goal and have the same dream of really just leaving a legacy. So I'm excited about that.
Thank you.
Yep.
I think I've got Jared Redding. Jared, do you have a question?
Yeah, I kind of popped in a little bit late, so I'm not sure what was asked previously. But if it hasn't for both of y'all, when now after evaluating South Dakota on film, what kind of stands out?
Um, they're definitely a good shooting team. They're able to put the ball on the floor. Take you off the dribble. I don't think that they've really played anybody like us besides South Carolina and other SEC teams. But as long as we come in and we play our defense, I think it'll be a good ending for us.
Yeah, I would agree with her. They're a really good team. They can put the ball on the floor. They can shoot. They're really solid, very fundamental. But I agree with her again. I don't think they've seen a team defensively like us. So I mean, I think that what we will bring will kind of shock them.
And kind of branching off of that, you like you kind of just said it now, and you said it during the watch party that they may not be prepared for it as much. But I mean, are there kind of any changes being made defensively, just in case they might figure it out in evaluation process, or has there not really been anything like that?
No, our defense is set to guard any team. Our season, we played multiple teams who play similar to them. So I definitely think, as long as we stick to our principles, we'll be fine.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Do we have any other questions? If not, we will release our student athletes. Shakira, LaShonda, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then joining us. All right, we want to remind everybody on Zoom, if you do have a question for Coach, after our in-person questions, we will get to you. But if you please raise your hand so we know that you do have a question, we'll make sure that we get to you. Joining us now again is Yolette McKewen, head coach of Ole Miss. Coach, would you like to provide an opening statement, or do you just want to get straight to questions?
Sure. Just really grateful that we're here. Last time I was able to sit up here, I was at Jacksonville University in 2016, and we were a 16 seed playing the number one team, South Carolina, at the time. So just excited to be back in the field of now 68. Our whole team is primed and ready. We've been preparing for this moment all season, and really looking forward to tipping off tomorrow.
All right, thank you, Coach. Do we have questions? Chad?
Chad Conan, Waco Tribune Herald. Yolette, getting to the
Well, the NIT was perfect for us. You know, we were able to get 5 games in with such a young team. You know, majority of my team last year was freshmen, and I think we only had a few upperclassmen at the time. Majority of my team last year also had never had a postseason experience. So that experience is something that we've used to continue on the momentum this whole season. And if you look at the history of the teams that have been in the NIT the year before, they've gone into the tournament and they've been prepared. So we took full advantage of it. And no, we didn't win the NIT championship. I don't know if that's something that we were set out to do as much as getting the experience. I felt like the experience of getting more games under our belt was important and prepared us for this moment.
And then, how about your size and the way you guys are able to score with your front court and do a lot of things with your front court on both ends of the floor? In a game like this, playing a Summit League team, will y'all really lean on that? Maybe it's something that you've seen night after night in the SEC, but maybe they haven't seen in the Summit League?
Well, I guess I want to say first, I have a tremendous amount of respect for Dawn in South Dakota. I'm very familiar with her and her style. We competed against each other when I was at Jacksonville and she was at Northern Kentucky. When you schedule, when you do your schedule, you try to put it in a situation where you've played different styles that you may possibly see in the NCAA tournament. I thought we did that with Belmont, with South Florida, Arkansas, Missouri, the like. And so one thing, as far as we're concerned, we are familiar with their style. Now, I felt like they did the same thing. They played South Carolina, Texas A&M, Pitt. So as far as our game plan is concerned, we're going to just do what has gotten us here and try to do it a little bit better to continue to advance. If you've watched us play, we're aggressive defensively, and then as far as on the offensive side of the ball, we play a lot through Kira, and we have some dynamic guards that understand how to get into the flow of the offense, and so we're going to take whatever the defense gives us, even though we feel like the defense will pack it in. We'll be prepared for that.
Excellent. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions in person? Yes, right here. Please state your name and affiliation, please.
Jay Elson with Midco Sports in South Dakota. Coach, you mentioned the familiarity with Dawn, and she mentioned that too.
Yeah.
When you get into these NCAA tournaments situations, how handy is it to at least have familiarity with who you're going against and what they like to do?
Shoot, it was incredible, because once they said who we were playing against, immediately there was some sense of peace because I was familiar with her. I didn't have to say, oh, let me see, what's her style, what she does. Coaches, we're creatures of a habit. And what's so funny is the first time we watched film to prepare, I pulled out the Jacksonville Northern Kentucky film. And the exact things we did defensively to get the victory against them at Northern Kentucky, we'll need to be able to do tomorrow. But we both have better teams, and we both have grown. So I expect it to be a competitive match.
All right. Any other questions here? If not, we'll go to Zoom. I don't see any hands raised, but we'll go ahead and Evie, just let us know if you do have a question, and let me know if I'm saying your name right. All right.
You're saying it right. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Your question for Coach.
Hey, Coach.
Hey,
how are you?
Evie.
I'm wondering, how is it different? You mentioned the last time you were here in the NCAA tournament with Jacksonville. How do you feel that you've changed as a coach, perhaps, from then to now?
That's a great question. Well, there are tons of differences. I have a lottery pick on my roster, so that helps. And I have some really dynamic guards. I thought, throughout my whole career, I've always had some really good guards, but no one. Well, I coached Jonquel Jones, but I was the assistant coach then. So as a head coach, I don't think I've had as dynamic of a post player as Shakira, and so that makes me sleep better at night. But as far as growth, it's just understanding how to evolve with the student athlete of today. They're different. They need certain things to be able to perform and produce, and so I've had to change my style of coaching. And my former players, they think I'm soft now. So, but I've had to adjust to this new generation of student athletes. So I think that has been something that um, I've grown to do, and then also just going through the highs and lows of being a head coach, being accountable, self-reflecting, making the necessary adjustments to get the most out of your players. When I was at JU, I didn't feel like I had to prove anything to those players. They just believed right away. When you come and you're at the higher level, you almost have to like prove yourself to your own team. And then once they believe, then they'll buy in all the way. And so just being humble enough to understand that at this level, it's more so of a partnership than anything, and being comfortable with not losing myself and still finding ways to be effective is probably the biggest area I've grown in.
Thank you.
Thank you, Evie. Let's go now to Jared Redding. Jared, let me give you permission to talk. Hold on just a moment. There you go. Jared Redding.
Hey, Coach Yo.
Hi,
I
Jared.
don't know if I'm supposed to state who I'm with, but Inside the Rebels and 247sports.com. I know you and your players said you're familiar with South Dakota style, but looking and evaluating their team, what kind of challenges does Chloe Lamb provide? Person who's averaging 32 a game.
Yeah, which number is she? I'm bad at names.
22.
Oh, 22. Oh, yeah. I mean, she's a special talent. Like I said, my players, they've watched what we've shown them. I've watched 10 games. South Dakota is really good. They're disciplined. They play hard. Um, they're here. They're a part of the 68. They earn their way here. And what she does is she's just dynamic. She can put it on the floor. She's a 3-level scorer. She scores in a variety of ways. She was able to get some tough buckets off against South Carolina. I think our defense is as good as theirs. So we're going to have to compete. We're going to have to challenge everybody on their team to take tough shots and earn them. And then she can shoot the three. And, something we pride ourselves on defensively is we don't give up the three often. And, so shout out to Carl Semesco and Florida Gulf Coast and all those teams that have prepared me to have that philosophy throughout my coaching career.
All right, Jared, is that the last of your questions? All right, Adam, do you have a question? Adam Brown?
Could you just talk a bit about what like Rashonda Mock and Mimi Reed and them have meant this year?
Yeah.
As well as Shakira?
Yeah, well, Monk and Mimi, they're the lieutenants on the team. We have spent a lot of time together. They're the point guards, so they right the ship. They're the ones on the floor that make everything go. As dynamic as Kira is, someone has to give her the ball. And they do that, and so we rely on them heavily. One of the things that I don't know that people realize a lot is their defensive presence. They set the tone defensively. They're the first line of defense, and so I feel like they've been solid on both ends of the floor. Our turnovers are down tremendously. That's something that used to hurt us in the past. It's very. I think we average, I don't know, maybe like 12 turnovers a game. That's like pretty good. We've had games where we've had less than 8 turnovers. So, that's in large part because of them and making sure that everybody's situated to be successful. As far as Shakira is concerned, I mean, she, in my opinion, is the best player in the country. And so, and I know that's my opinion, but that's what I believe. What she can do, the type of attention she demands night in and night out, her mere presence just on the floor. I mean, she doesn't even have to touch the ball, but you have to guard her. It makes everyone on our team, it makes their life easier. And so, you know, they all three, and I can go through my whole roster, bring something that has allowed us to be here today.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I think that's all the questions that we have for you,
All right.
Coach. We thank you for joining us, and we wish you the best of luck tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
And a recording of this press conference will be available in the NCAA Digital Media Hub at www.ncaa.va.